in this video, I have a saying about giving a rat's ass that's kind of funny. That how can you give a rat's ass? The ass of the rat isn't yours to give, so let the rat keep his ass. Or you can pick up a rat and hand him to somebody else's ass first, and yes, you're giving a rat's ass. And if the other person wants to accept the rat ass first, to give a rat's ass, you're sort of offering up the rat's ass, and it's up to the other person if he wants to accept. So I'll have another saying too, that in some certain things, that if a rat's ass should really be offered or even given about a particular subject. So that's what I say about tolerance to a certain thing. You can say sometimes you give a shit. There's some and I also have a thing where I say there's certain aspects of giving a shit or giving a fuck. It's not that I don't give a shit or give a fuck. It's there's some aspects of giving a shit or giving a fuck that I don't give a shit or a fuck about. And at any given time, when and where should a rat's ass be given, or a fuck be given, or a shit be given, or even offered? You know what I mean? So yeah, we have that motto there about when you tolerate something or other person tolerates you. That's where I say, let the rat keep his ass. You know, I mean, the rat's ass isn't yours to give, or is not mine to give. Let the rat keep his ass. It belongs to the rat. Let the rat keep his ass. So that kind of tells you something about tolerance. You know, live and let live, even if you do it in a smirky, smart-ass kind of a way. Alright, what's up, yens guys? Time for another video. And I promise not to ramble on with this one too much without making a long-ass video, but try to tell you how some of these people, especially kids on freaking YouTube and places, and some of these other YouTubers, how they getting shit wrong. And trouble with everybody is they haven't, some of these fucking people, they gotta know they haven't fucking figured it out by now. They're still have these beliefs. I want to break down which side should I break down first? Some people's precious far left, the ones that always, every time you disagree with them, they pull that shit out their ass, play the Yu-Gi-Oh card of you must be right wing, and I keep accidentally saying white ring because, or white wing, or right wing, because I guess some of the radicals on the left, it's understandable if I accidentally say a white winger. There's a lot of people that are very, as far as race is concerned, you know, I mean, the white leftist, everybody, that's the problem or whatever. So my subconscious keeps cooking at that anyway. But one thing I can't grasp with these damn people, I'm trying not to laugh here, is right in front of people's face. I think some of them get it, or some of them, do they really get it, or they just don't get it, or do they know damn well and they just want to keep spouting out repeating what their little friends tell them or whatever the hell. And I ain't saying, no, you're not going to play. I'm also going to say how you're not going to play that you must be right wing card with me too, because I want to break both of them down. First of all, do you want to say I can argue that, okay, you can take Republican and right wing by itself, and then Democrat left wing, and break it down by itself, right? And say each of those things have a left and a right. And a lot of people say you got radical right wing, or white ring, or right wing. Well, yeah, I know, I keep saying it. Well, nobody's perfect, you know. But anyway, I say it breaks down a little bit more, because you can see whichever side, you got people that are better than others. You got people that, why I say what I do is I say how you got the right, and then You got two different attitudes there, some better than others, and you got the left. Okay, you want me to just start with the left? Because right now I almost want to talk about what fools people are and what I got playing in my head also, too, why I'm laughing. The part of Bohemian Grove where they were showing Bohemian Grove. You ever see that video? When I want to say what fools people are, I got it playing in my head, that part of Bohemian Grove. Fools! Fools! Anyway, go watch it if you want to understand what I'm saying. If you guys haven't seen it, that's some crazy shit. But anyway, you want to start with the left. Yeah, the left thinks it's superior because it says everybody, just because they're on the right, and the right wing, oh, they're evil, they're capitalist, and all that stuff. And I'll get to that one side in a minute too, how they're right and how they're wrong. But first of all, start with the left. You got the left, how you got the radical. You can break it down and say it's radical this side or that side, radical left. You can be a radical right and left of the left. You know what I'm saying? Bear with me here. You got first of all, the biggest assholes around. No matter what you get from whatever handout you get from the government, you get for free. You get these fucking assholes that don't appreciate none of it. They want more, and they believe, some of them believe in the legalization of all drugs. You want to do whatever the hell you want, and the police are all harassing and picking on you, and just because, and no regard for their neighbors or anybody else. They have the tendency, and I'm not picking on anybody because of their race. I'll go talk about, put black people aside and say how white people, there's even the radical left of the radical left that look like me, that they don't like me, and they hate my guts. And well, a lot of them, they're them types with the long stringy hair, that the girl arms, that do a lot of heroin. They look like you're totally avoiding muscle development, and look like they maybe eat 1 or 2 pieces of corn a day, and then the rest of their money they get. And so that side, the ones that they want more, and government, it sees it right in front of their face, and they're giving them more. And you can even have yourself, get yourself 302'd on purpose and do all kind of other shit, and then get, whatever for the government more than people who need it, you know what I mean? I'm not going to go too far over that. Oh, and in my area, not to ramble too much, but I'm talking parentheses here. In my area, the tri-state area, and I might have people correct, not a huge amount of people watch my videos, but I might have me correcting me this, but people in my area, that I should make a whole video about this too, the certain white people, particular area, the West Virginia, Ohio, and Pennsylvania area. The white trash are actually called hoopies, and I get called one. And to not do, you could do a whole video on this about people will be correcting me, there's different beliefs about it. And matter of fact, it's a stereotype. But yet the so-called hoopies there's good ones that got good religious values, yet even though they drink and smoke, they'll have better religious values than others, right? And then you have the other kinds of hoopies that do all the drugs and do all this. So I ain't gonna go ramble on too much, because that's a whole video, and there'll be a lot of people correcting me. There's different variations of it. But anyway, yeah, the left thinks, oh, everybody that's white is total evil, and if you got to be white defending every single person that's of color, and believe that all white people are ultimate evil, and then black people are all innocent lambs. Well, people will look at people like me like I'm nuts, or one commenter would say I'm rambling like a psycho when I say, well, white people and serial killers, white people had Ted Bundy, the white gay people had Jeffrey Dahmer, and black people had Edward Surratt,
Oh, and I'm not allowed to say that because that's some kind of bias, right? I'm comparing. So the far left and suck-ups will say, oh, I'm comparing white and black people. No, I'm not comparing. If I was comparing, I'd be saying how one is better than another. And the ones that accuse me of comparing, oh, they like to compare and say, well, how... and then you should have... some of us that believe both black and white people have good values and should have the sense to stay away from shit. And if you believe, yeah, white people ain't the ultimate evil, but they ain't total innocent lambs either, or neither. But anyway, the radical left of the radical left believe this. Then you got another part of the left that's a little bit more consistent. Maybe you give them something, they appreciate it. And some of them don't like the Republican and the right, but well, there's a part of it, like I say, well, I can't honestly call myself leftist or Democrat, but I don't hate the Democrat. I believe there's things they could do better. But then the side of the right, which the left like to talk about the right, yes, there is a right and a left of the right, right? Right. Correct. Yeah, I mean, the left is kind of right or kind of correct about some of the capitalism, but their mere mistake is they're stereotyping and hating, and they must know fucking well. But they accuse just everybody just because they're right wing. They all want to have guns and shoot people, and they all hate other races and blah blah blah. But yes, you do have that part of the right that's so capitalist that you got a part of the evil rich that they're kind of correct about. The ones that more for me, less for you, and they want to, if they could, they would make people work for 10 cents a day or whatever the hell, and sell everything high and be rich or whatever. And that radical union type where everybody's union, they think, when everybody thinks the union is the answer, unionizing is the answer, and they'd represent the union people. The people to the union, nothing a company ever does is enough. They want to force companies to pay them. Oh man, I want more benefits, more medical benefits. It's never good enough. I want bigger raise, and company goes under. Which I think a union could be too tyrannical. It's not the answer. And if I talk in parentheses, a company that I worked for many years that wasn't union, they gave profit sharing bonuses. That's for another video, but talk in parentheses. A way that wasn't union that did work. But eventually, things happen in companies too. But I don't want to go too far for that. But then you got the... But anyway, some of us believe that there's a part of Republican you don't want to totally do away with, right? Because it represents a type of capitalism that both black people, immigrants, if you're Italian, you're a legal immigrant that went through all the process and got here legally or whatever. But well, it goes back, it goes way back to where it should be, where you had immigrants that were Irish, some Puerto Rican, Italian. There was that philosophy. Everybody was able to start a business. You know what I mean? And that's what you want, to be able to... Everybody in a perfect world would be able to start a business. Capitalism that way. And there's nothing wrong with that. If you hated all capitalism and all republicanism, then you're a radical left. You think, oh, the government should own everything and give everybody the same. And in communist Russia, that never fucking worked. See, look what happened with communist Russia and in Cuba. That shit never fucking worked, and they want to do it anyway and worship Che Guevara. But anyway, the part where what people are hating about the Republican, the radical Republican. Oh yeah, Democrat is so righteous, but the Republican is like all total evil. Well, okay, you got the side of the Republican that's the evil rich you want to talk about. Okay, let's talk about for a second. Oh, remember what I said, everybody of every race has right to start a business and everything, right? Well, there's the radical side, the evil rich that, wants to force other people out of business, and that, would be hypocritical about talking about, communism, but you'll have another platform that if it gets too far, well, it represents part of the, the mafia shit like you've seen on TV that would force people out of business or collect extortion money or drive you out of business because anything that's competition, um, eliminate it or whatever, or extort from it or force it out of business. Well, you got the part of the radical Republican side that does that now, but not always so much as like you see in mafia, use other kind of means, everything from the health department to legalism shit to sue to force people out of business, which you can almost argue that something that's too far Republican, that's too, that wants to take over all business on its own and force the smaller guy out of business, you know what I mean? Wants to own everything. There's a part that the left hates that, should hate for a good reason, but its mistake, the far leftist mistake is, say everybody is like that. And if you're on the radical left, I guess you don't really want to have your right to start a business. And the kids that are going to college, being taught in college, to worship Che Guevara and that, they're going to college to want to get a career, right? If they don't go to work for government to become radical left, like some of them do. Say you're going to college, you want to be anything you want to be, right? A game designer, fashion designer, any kind of a thing, right? Correct? They're going wrong. They're far left. They're anti-capitalist. Well, guess what? You're going to college, right? To be anti, and you're believing in this bullshit campus bandwagon organizers saying, "Oh yeah, capitalism wrong," but yet going to college because you want to be something and whether go to work for something and start something. How the fuck are you going to do that if you're anti-capitalist? In your college that you're going in to spout out the radical left shit. Guess what? Your college is capitalist. It wants to make money, but only, like I said, the colleges, they're not discouraging a certain behavior because the government is paying for so many people's college. That's why a lot of that radical left bullshit is so rampant, and they want to cancel you now. They want to cancel you now if you have other kind of ideologies, kick you out of the college and everything else, and try to say it won't make you destitute too. So it's like a lot to get your head around. I mean, like I said, that the smarter people on the Republican side that are not the overly capitalist understand that to a certain point that they maybe pay people a little bit better wages and everything. It goes back into the economy, and they want to go more consistent, that they'll go spend it and buy stuff that people were manufactured, hopefully manufactured in this country, right? But the trouble, like with the radical left, the people that are on the radical left of the radical left instead of the more consistent right of a left, instead of spending money that's even given to more by the government, spend it all on drugs. Not less of it's being put into the actual economy itself, where it should go. Yeah, like I said, the left has a radical left, and you can have the left has a left and a right, and the right has a left and a right that kind of leans both like this way. And like you get people in the left, if you were to give them, well, like almost like the stimuluses we got from the the COVID thing, right? How many of those people that were like entitled that everybody got a check from the government? How many people were spending on stuff for themselves? You know, maybe food, and once in a while they're probably buying themselves items that they don't need, but at least it's going into the economy, right? They might have bought a bicycle, parts for their car, or maybe even video games, but or wherever there might have been a list of stuff that maybe you get it, okay? Then you got the other part, like one person I saw on the news that got stopped by the cops, some young girl, stoned, and she was pulled up over by the police, right? She actually, I shit you not, I had to find the article. We probably call it fake news, real snarky, and bragged about how to spend her stimulus all on drugs. Just laughed at the cops or whatever. Yeah, you got these. Yeah, you got this far in this video. This is for like people that know me. I really should do the video over, because just to talk about it, it's really hard to get your head around. I would literally have to do a PowerPoint presentation. You know what I'm saying? Like what they taught you back when I was in school. Whatever the fuck they teach people in public school now. Back when I'm doing these videos, we didn't have PowerPoint presentations. But we didn't have PowerPoint. That I really should be doing that, like 1A, B, C. You know how you want to do a report to your teacher or whatever the hell about something. Like I said, I don't want to be acting like I'm cutting and pasting something off of some website. I mean, I'm trying to say how things break down. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, the left's biggest mistake, and I do a video later if you got this far on this video, why I think that in some cases that if the radical left doesn't shape itself up, how do you know somebody that governments that give you damn near everything and want more, and you don't do anything at all and don't appreciate it? How do you know they might just get fed up and discreetly try to purge your ass? You know what I mean? I'm do a video later on how both sides, would want to do a purge if they could. You know what I'm saying? I got this theory. Like I says, I'm not totally. Don't anybody dare call me no fucking right wing or no left wing. I'm thinking that, like I said, how you break down the left. If you take the left by itself and break it down, you can have a left or the right, how it is better than the others. There is one side that's so damn messed up that people might get fed up. If they don't purge your ass, they just say, you know what, we're not giving you no more or nothing. And then make it bad for everybody else that need it. And then, like I said, the right, there's a radical part that's this side and this side that wants everything for itself and pay you as little as possible, that goes too far. And then the one side that's a little bit better, that should be for everybody, part of capitalism that you don't want to do away with, that the left wants to do away with, where it's going wrong. You know what I'm saying?